ask Dawn Plummer, our Executive Director, to give her report.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I see some new folks on the line here, but many familiar faces. And many of you have contributed so much over the years to building our collective work. And thank you for joining us this afternoon. I will be pretty brief with my report. I have some sort of organizational updates and then some more programmatic advocacy updates of the different pieces of work that have been moving since the last time we met. To kick it off with a quick staff update for those of you who have worked closely with or worked at all with Olivia Carter, who's our AmeriCorps Vista, who has been with us on our team for the last year plus. She is winding down her service. We're very sad to see her go, but very much supporting her in her next chapter. Her last day will be on Friday. So if you are connected to Olivia and want to share a greeting with her, she would certainly welcome that, I'm sure, and just wanted to lift her up. She's been a fantastic member of our team. The second piece is that I believe I mentioned this last time, but we had actually closed our office space. So I just wanted to bring your attention to, I don't know why anyone would necessarily need to mail us anything, but we do have a new mailing address. It's a PO box. It's on the agenda on the report if you need to reference that. Our phone number is still the same. And yeah, just a couple of other programmatic and other updates. One, I'm really excited to report back. We kicked off the second cohort of our Pittsburgh Food Equity Ambassador Program last night. We have 15 ambassadors from all 9 city council districts who are really enthusiastic about their communities, are bringing a lot of passion and excitement to this work. Our program brings together ambassadors for 10 sessions where we dig into how city government works, how people can get engaged with their city council, and we'll be looking at the question of alternative food buying options in communities that don't have enough options available. And so that's a really exciting opportunity to build up the leadership of community members who are either sort of just independently interested or are very engaged in particular projects. So there's more to come there. We just met last night and they were very enthusiastic and just wanted to share that. And we'll be sharing more about who they are and what we'll be doing over the next 6 months in the coming period. I also wanted to lift up that for those of you who are impacted by well, we all are, I guess, the Allegheny County food code. Anyone who runs a food business has inspections from the county. There's a new food code that's being revised. It's in its final stages and will actually be presented to the Board of Health on May 4th. And there's been a lot of community feedback, part of which the Food Policy Council has been plugging people into those changes and getting a lot of feedback to make sure that code makes sense for restaurant owners and food truck owners and other food businesses. And that final draft, including a fee schedule, an updated fee schedule, will be presented for approval to the board on May 4th. That's an in-person meeting at the City County building. I can give you more details if you're interested later, or you can Google Allegheny County Board of Health and you'll find information about the meetings there. Another piece, it is spring, and so the Food Policy Council has worked with our friends in the farmers market space over the last couple of years and just kicked off our farmers market network meetings for 2022. And those meetings are monthly. The next one's on Wednesday, May 7th. This is also in the director's report at 3 p.m. So if you're engaged in farmers markets, you want to gather with your peers, that's a great space. Or if you're enthusiastic about farmers markets, there's a lot of collaboration and support that is needed. So, if anyone's interested, that's always an opportunity. I also wanted to take a moment to congratulate the new Urban Ag Working Group co-chairs who were announced, I believe, earlier today. The working group voted, and we have 2 new leaders. We have Ebony Lunsford Evans and Masood Sales. So we're really excited to we've had wonderful leadership for the past several years, and very excited to bring on some new folks. And so more to come on that. One quick update on the Gainey administration. Obviously, as we transition into this new administration, Mayor Gainey has been working with his team to take in all of the feedback that I know many of us have been a part of, community engagement sessions and providing, making asks of the new mayor essentially. And they haven't yet announced their new platform and kind of how they'll be moving forward, but we know that equity is at the heart of the Gainey administration and are very enthusiastic and encouraged by conversations we've had about the importance of food equity. So not just food access, but food equity, and how do we really have a new conversation partnership with the city of Pittsburgh going forward. And so we have been advocating for several things. One, new leadership from the mayor, food being at the top of the agenda. Two, for the creation and investment of public funds in a food justice fund to be invested in Black and Brown communities and grassroots efforts that are building out community food systems. And three, to have deep collaboration and operation. How can the new mayor operationalize deep collaboration with communities across the city who are, leading in the food space, including the Food Policy Council? So we're very excited, still waiting for them to sort of, share more of their vision and direction. But we've been collaborating closely, particularly with Josiah Gilliam, who is working in the mayor's office as the special initiatives coordinator. He offered us a greeting at our last meeting, I think it was. So there's a lot of potential there, and he really understands that and is a real partner there in the mayor's office. So we're really excited about that. And we do continue to convene a food justice fund committee, and Pastor Love has and Ann Sanders have offered to help co-chair that committee, where we're refining the proposal that we would like to see and refining an advocacy approach to continue to advocate for those funds to be created. We know we're going to have to engage in the budget process, and there's lots of work to be done there, and everyone is welcome also to join those conversations. Our next meeting, maybe Sam, you could drop our next meeting date. I'm spacing on my calendar, got a little wonky, so maybe someone could drop that date.
Yeah, the meeting is on Friday, May 6th, and I'll put a link in the chat shortly here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's in the afternoon. And then lastly, around our advocacy that we've, as part of the food action plan, we had identified several strategies. One of them that really needed to be prioritized. One of them was around accessible, affordable transportation. And we had a recent op-ed run by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that was an opportunity for us to talk more about how, a low-income fare program could really help Pittsburgh and help Pittsburgh increase access, particularly to, all things food, but all things basic needs, for people to be able to connect to basic needs more easily and not have the barrier of cost and affordability. So check out that link, and that wraps up my report.
Well, thank you, Dawn, and I hope people do get to see the op-ed. That was very well said, very important. And Dawn, did you want to mention the annual report?
Yes, we are in the process of putting together, we have what we're calling an impact report, because it's an annual plus. It's one of these, we're trying to encapsulate basically since the pandemic began, all of the work that we've done together and the impact of that work. And we'll be rolling out some social media around that. So I strongly encourage you to take a look at that. And also share, engage with it, and help us get the word out about all of the great things that are happening in our broader ecosystem, and things, shouting out things that you've been part of, that kind of thing would be more than welcome. So more to come, particularly on social media, as well as our newsletter, The Scoop.
Great, thanks. Given that I got a little sneak preview of the annual report and thought it was so great, I wanted to make sure everybody had it on their radar. So we're going to move into Carlin doing member recognition.
Thank you, Mim. Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you all. I want to remind you all that we have a link where you can sort of nominate your peers for recognition. So we like to just take a few minutes of these meetings and then in our newsletter to lift up some accomplishments of our network members. So if there's someone that you feel is doing really great work or has had an exciting accomplishment, please feel free to link them there. We're looking, of course, for people that are working somehow in the food space, but yeah, we encourage you to do that. So what I want to do today is I want to lift up two of our network members, which are PASA Sustainable Agriculture and Community Kitchen Pittsburgh. Both of these organizations received a Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry apprenticeship and training grant. From that office. There were 26 grants awarded across the Commonwealth, a total of $11 million. And I'm going to go ahead and give PASA and then Community Kitchen just a few minutes to talk about their work. If it's okay, we're going to start with PASA because I know that they have a meeting to get to at 4:30. So I see Dan Dalton with us. I'm not sure. I don't see Hannah. And the title of the project is Growing PA's Vegetable Industry Through Registered Apprenticeship. Dan, would you like to go ahead and share a little bit about this work?
Sure. Thanks, Carlin.
Thank you.
Yeah, really pleased to receive a PA Smart grant to support this work. This is going specifically to support our registered apprenticeship, the Diversified Vegetable Apprenticeship, the DVA. For those of you who aren't familiar, the DVA is a 2-year registered apprenticeship in vegetable farming with a farm management trajectory in mind for folks. So these are folks who already have some amount of experience and who are on a farm management track in the vegetable space. This PA Smart grant for us, we're looking to enhance the services we're providing to apprentices and host farmers. We're also looking to increase our recruitment and pairing of farmers and apprentices over about a 2.5-year time frame running through mid-2024. So we'll be looking in the coming years to put together about 30 pairs of farmers and apprentices over that time, represented by 3 cohorts of apprentices. A increasingly diverse pool of apprentice candidates, including over 50% women and over 30% folks from underserved audiences, which is part of our long-term goal, just to diversify the farming space generally and to make it more inclusive of different people's backgrounds and getting more people into agriculture. The training requirements for the program and all of that, if we meet these goals, would represent about 53,000 hours of on-the-job training for these apprentices and a little over 4,000 hours of related technical instruction. And so this relates to our full program, which is a very comprehensive set of skills that we train to and parameters for producing a well-rounded farm manager. So we think that those numbers are really great and we're really excited for it. We're also hoping to see the career outcomes for these paired apprentices, liking to see a certain number of folks heading out into farm ownership for themselves, becoming owner operators, some fraction of them becoming professional farm managers for another organization or another business for someone else. And then about a third of them becoming agricultural technical service professionals and providers to further bolster the sustainable agriculture space. So we see, a lot of really positive things here. I'm really excited about the opportunity to scale up our work and support a new cohort of growers over the coming years. So appreciate Carlin calling us out for having received the award, and we're really excited to get going with it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Dan. My computer keeps telling me that my system resources are low. So if I'm breaking up, maybe somebody put a note in the chat so that I know that. Paran Shepherd is here from Community Kitchen. Did I pronounce your name right?
It's the closest I've ever heard. You did a really good job on that.
Well, that's great because I misspelled your last name on the agenda. So my apologies for that.
It's okay. I'm a
I'm sorry.
fill-in. I'm just a fill-in today.
That's all right. So Paran is here from Community Kitchen Pittsburgh to talk about their program that was awarded this grant of expansion of food industry apprenticeships for marginalized populations. Would you like to tell us how you really correctly pronounce your name and then tell us about this work?
So my name is Paran Shepherd. And here at CKP, we actually have 3 current Department of Labor apprentices, registered apprentices here, 1 in our cooking department, 1 in our baking department, and 1 in our inventory control department. And this PA Smart Grant is really going to help us expand that to this point.
Excellent. Do you think you will be just adding more people to those same sort of roles, or will there be creation of new roles?
I think a little bit of both. I primarily handle the student aspect of it. Like I said, I'm a fill-in here. I'm not sure what Jen wants to really do to expand it, but I know it's going to be a great help because we only have 3 in-house being trained now.
Right, excellent. Thank you very much for sharing that. I did drop a link to the press release for this grant announcement that folks could read and learn more about the grants. I think it's pretty exciting that we have 2 of these awardees in the Food Policy Council network, and we wish you the best. And if there are ways that the network can support these efforts, please be in touch. And we're happy. Thank you both for carving out time of your day, your probably long day, to join us here. I think that's about it for that section, Mem.
Well, thank you. And thanks to both of you, and congratulations actually to both of you. This is wonderful to hear, and, like to see good money going to good programs. So those of you who were here at our last meeting, we got a lot of good feedback about the breakout sessions and how wonderful it was to have breakout sessions. So back by popular demand, we're doing breakout sessions again. And I am going to pass that over to Sam to talk about what's going to be happening.
Great, thanks, Mim. Hey, everybody. Yeah, like Mim said, we got a lot of good feedback after our last member meeting that folks like the opportunity to be in smaller groups and have more opportunity to connect and talk to one another. So we wanted to try and incorporate that into our meeting this evening, and we also wanted to think about ways that we can highlight and support work that you all are doing, that members of the Food Policy Council Network are leading, particularly as they kind of relate to strategies and priorities from the Greater Pittsburgh Food Action Plan. Again, we know that many folks on this call and others who aren't here this evening are leading on projects that are very much connected to the Food Action Plan, and are also the types of projects that we could see. Don mentioned the Food Justice Fund earlier, so we want to kind of highlight types of projects that we could see the Food Justice Fund really benefiting. So we have, really excited, we have 4 speakers this evening. We'll be going into 4 breakout groups. First, we have Pastor Luchul Love from the Praise Temple Deliverance Church and the Hazelwood Cooperative. We have Lisa Freeman from Freeman Family Farm and Greenhouse. Jackie Page Heidelberg from Love Rocks Cafe, and Laura Kadori from Warm Return. So I think Kian is going to send us all, we'll be kind of randomly assigned into a breakout group with one of those speakers. We'll get to hear about the great work that they are doing, have a chance for some Q&A, and then we'll kind of all come back together and get to share some highlights from our small group discussion. So I think without further ado, Kiam, if you want to send us off into breakout groups, we can go ahead and get started.
Kian, can you hear me? Kian?
Hey, are
Hey.
you saying something to me?
Jackie's not here, so I think we only need 3 groups.
Yeah, I have 3 rooms. Well, there's technically 4. No one's in the 3rd room.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you want to send me to one of them? Maybe 2? I guess I can pick it.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
We're back in the main room. Lisa, thank you so much for sharing.
I don't know if I'm up now, but I think we're going to be doing some reporting back from breakout groups. And I have to say, I was in the worm return. See, I want to call it worm return group. And in the very last second, we were talking about slugs. So it was just kind of fun to come back to the main room with that as the last word. So Sam, are we back to you for facilitating this or?
Sure,
somebody?
yeah. Can't say we got to talking about slugs in our breakout group. But we had a great conversation about the efforts to build a cooperative grocery store and additional kind of cooperative businesses in Hazelwood. I don't know if there's anyone, if Pastor Lev or Bill or anyone else from the breakout group wants to just give a quick summary of our conversation and of the work that's happening there. Let's
Yeah,
see.
Pastor Love, did you want me to say, or did you want to go ahead and talk about it?
I wonder, it's
Pastor's muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
can you unmute him, Carlin? I'm not the host, so I'm not able to.
I can ask to unmute, but I don't believe that I can unmute. Maybe
Yeah,
until
he may not be able to unmute because he may be in the car by himself. Let me just say real quick. Yeah, we were talking about cooperative, having a cooperative grocery store, well, a cooperative community centers. We're calling it the Sarah Dixon Center for Innovation in Hazelwood. It's going to be a 40,000 square foot building, 20,000 square foot at the bottom level, which is going to be 2 stories, 40,000 square feet total, located on the Second Avenue in Hazelwood. The first floor is going to be the cooperative grocery store, and the second level is going to be other businesses like a credit union, with their daycare, and urban farming is going to be involved in that. And that's what we were talking about, the urban farming aspect of what we were doing in Hazelwood to help generate revenue for some of the residents in Hazelwood and allow them to sell some of that, their work to the grocery store. And it's going to be community owned through the cooperative model. There's actually 3 models: community owned, employee owned, and the third one I'm drawing about. There's going to be 3 levels of ownership. And the point is to help also to create wealth in the communities by owning the assets of the community owned by the community. So when a grocery store is owned by the community, the chances of them closing their own grocery store is not very great. That allows them to create that wealth and that money circulate in the community. Once again, help create other businesses that are also community owned as well. I think Pastor just came back on. Can you hear us, Pastor?
Yeah, thank you. I was muted, and like I told you, I'm blind, so I had to get somebody to unmute me. But thank you,
Yeah.
Bill. And I know we don't have too much more time, but a component of this project that we believe there's a strong component and a necessary component is the urban farming. We will have urban farming on the roof of our building as well as scattered throughout the community. The second part is the entrepreneurial opportunities that we are creating with local residents owning their own farms and cultivating and feeding their family, as well as the opportunity to selling their food back to the grocery store and other outlets that we'll be connecting them to. So our approach to our food apartheid is economic development by helping to stabilize the family, building wealth within the community, so that the family themselves will be able to afford to live and eat in a manner that is suitable to all of us.
Yeah, thank you, Bill and Pastor Love. The one thing I will add is that we mentioned during the conversation, Pastor Love shared that they are looking for anyone with expertise in urban farming, in grocery store development, and business development and business planning. And Pastor had shared that all are welcome. Have any interest or knowledge to share. I'll put. Pastor Love, if it's okay with you, I'll again put your information in the chat here so everyone can get in touch if they are interested in learning more and helping out.
Thank you. Please do. And the door is open for everyone. We do need help.
All right, so let's go to our next group then and hear from Lisa Freeman and anyone else who's in your group who wants to share about your conversation.
Come on, don't be shy. Well, here, I'll tell you. I they didn't have a chance to talk because I talked the whole time. But one thing I didn't add was where I am, the economic development piece is very important. Like my store here is here to represent the community and our need because we are in a food desert. It's going to be bright and beautiful and something to be proud of. But my store is also on Juniata Street. This was the mayor's bicycle route, and we're right in the middle of it. We're located in a very prime location. But at the other end of Juniata Street, we're going to talk. This is my 5-year plan with Ridgeway Capital. I heard them talk about by the block. Economic development is very important in Black communities, Black, brown, all white, all communities. And it's important that the people have to have an opportunity to say and do what they want. In Manchester, they call it the Chateau, but they came and they took all the benefits of a low income community to do a $660 million development. That's called the Esplanade. But right on my street, if you go down left of me, you will see a store, 3-story apartment building, storefront, and 2 doors down, all these abandoned, condemned houses. And then Ebony's Farm is at the end. We want to be a channel of economic development, and we want to build the block. It's not enough to just do your own thing for your own thing, for you. It was never meant to be about that. It's meant to be about the community. And I'm proud, and I look forward to getting up and running and then buying the block to show people who are marginalized that if they get a vision in their mind that they can accomplish it. So for all of you all that was in my group, I'm sorry I talk so much, but that's just who I am. Thank you for being in my group.
Mr. Freeman, I know you.
I know you too, sir. I'm so glad to see you.
Same
Can I
here.
just, can I add on to Lisa's bit? We were lucky to also get a tour of her farm and greenhouse, which was really fun. But we didn't get to the how can we support your work? Are there ways to plug in? Are there things that you need to help support you? And so if you want to give that some thought and share that
Oh, no,
out.
I can tell you right now,
Good.
for me, I'm like a homesteader. Everybody in my group, they saw my trailer. We're living in a trailer. I bought a camper trailer. I sold my house. And man, it's a different kind of freedom to like live off your own land and walk out and the chickens are there trying to get their bacon and eggs. It's a different kind of feeling where you're just free, man. I feel like a free woman.
Mm.
I know that success is going to be in my future shortly, but I'm not really content yet because I'm a mother of a son, a Black child that has disabilities. So this opportunity, it will definitely build me a generational wealth for my children, my family, but my son with disabilities, I have to make sure that he's not a burden on society and that he's fully capable of being a contributor, which he is. He's high functioning. You wouldn't know any different, except that he doesn't have any confidence. And that's just young Black men in general. And
Mhm.
I want him to feel a part of his mother, of all my efforts, and not being a failure because school failed him, job failed him, society don't want to see children who are disabled, no one. I want him to feel that he has a place in his mother's future. And I'm asking because our model, because I said it's store, it's glass on the outside, and people are going to want it more and not know how to get in. Part of our model is that we'll be delivering food to the senior citizens, those with mobility issues, those who are elderly, those that can order online. And my son, he wants to learn how to drive. As a matter of fact, he just went down there today and failed his first driver's exam. Well, this is the second one, but he was only 1 point away. And he was discouraged, but I said, son, you're closer to failing. Just keep going. I
Amen.
want him to have a piece of this. And my car has 169,000 miles on it. And I want a new car. I want an old clunker. I want a new car. I want a car that has low mileage on it, where I could put a car wrap with my name on it, with our number, and he's going to be a delivery person because he has an ambition that he wants to drive. And I feel that would complete him as having a proud place in his business because I got just a few short years, and this goes to my children. And that would make me complete, that I know my children will be successful and be able to participate and give back to the community. So I have a PayPal link if anybody would like to participate. Thank you so very much.
Can I ask a question to Sister Freeman?
Yes,
Sure.
go right ahead.
You say buy a lot. Are you guys working with the city lot program or the farmers program with the URA?
We are not, I own my property, but there's properties, there's houses down the street that are condemned. Many properties down on the left of me that didn't make it into the mayor's bike plan or the mayor's route. We're all on the same street, but you turn right and I'm in the right. You turn left and you're in the, the zone of condemnation, a building that's the windows are falling out, and a
Yeah.
store that could be very beneficial. And then stores there where the oldest African-American woman, she died and left 2 houses, 3 houses, and they're all condemned and are all up for sale by Howard Hanna. And then you come to Ebony's lot. And I would ask, why cannot we buy the block and be the faces of people who are determined to make our own way and to give inspiration to other children? Like, you don't have to wait for anybody to tell you, give you, do for you. You have a dream, you just do it. And we just need to be examples. So they have someone to look to, show them how.
That's right.
Ms. Lisa, thank you for sharing all of that. I did want to mention that I dropped, Ms. Lisa shared a PayPal donation link for Freeman Family Farm that I did drop in the chat there. We'll follow up
Thank you.
meeting with notes and with links for all of the relevant information that was shared here today. So thank you very much.
All right, so let's go then to our last group. Anyone wants to share, Laura, about worm return?
Yes, so we were basically talking about the work that we are doing in different communities to try to help gain access to produce in places where it's not easily accessible, and how food scraps can help make good, healthy soil to be able to do that.
Laura, can I interrupt
My
you?
biggest support needs are that I need a lot of help. There goes my unstable connection again. So let me know.
Laura, if I am happy, I'm sorry for
Yes.
chatting over you. I'm happy to share. I was in the group with Laura, and yeah, there's a sound issue definitely going on, so we're having a hard time understanding, but I can share that Laura shared that what she needs right now really badly is help in her business. She's looking to hire people to do deliveries. Worm Return picks up food waste from restaurants as well as from residences across the city. And she needs help. She's recovering from a surgery. She has, picks up 400 buckets of compost material, food waste material a week, and is really looking to hire some help, some people to do deliveries, and then also just the work of cleaning out the buckets and that sort of thing. So we were going to share, we're going to work on maybe writing up a job description and sharing that, but that was the first thing that she needed. And then she didn't really say that she needs more business, but I just want to plug for the business for Worm Return that they do pick up food scraps right at your home. And you can have pickups on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and they, drop off an empty bucket. And there is a site that you can log on to see, they weigh the buckets, and you can sort of see what the impact of your composting is, which is a pretty cool feature there for people that are interested in that. So those were the basic shares, were that she really needs help in her business, and that they're doing really good work and that they pick up at residences.
Where is it located?
So I don't know where the business, I think that the composting is actually done at a variety of sites throughout the city. I don't know what the business address is, Pastor, but I know that they're doing work. I think that they're doing some work in your community in Hazelwood. They started in Westvale, and I think Laura also mentioned doing some work in Bells Hoover, Homewood, Hazelwood. Yeah. I think that was about it, Sam. I guess we're done with those breakout groups.
Thanks. So yeah, thanks again to our speakers, and thanks everyone here for sticking out and hearing about them. I think Mim, will I turn it back to you to do the member info sharing?
Right, and thank you. It's so gratifying to hear what is happening, right? Sometimes every day is just one piece of bad news after the other, and to hear the work that people are doing, it just makes you feel good. So thank you everybody for sharing. Okay, so boy, I really, this would be such a good time for Denny to be jumping in, because he's just so funny, but you'll just have to put up with not so funny. We have member information sharing, and I see a list of people here, and I'm just going to read it off in the order that it is, and hopefully people are still here and they can share. Although I see first on my list is Mark Kritz, and I'm not sure
Yeah, Mark sent me a message that he had to jump off, but he did. I do have a flyer that I am going to share. Hopefully you guys can open that. And And Don just shared in the chat, the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture is doing a lot of work to support the mental health of farmers. And so they've developed this agri-stress helpline for within the state of Pennsylvania. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can speak to healthcare providers or healthcare professionals on that line. And I shared the sort of work plan summary of what that project is there.
Great. I'm glad he was able to share that with us. And so we can get that information out because it's obviously quite an issue with farmers. Okay, Ann, I see you're still here. So Ann Sanders.
Yeah, I wanted to let folks know that the state of Pennsylvania just was approved last week to do another round of pandemic EBT benefits for school age kids for this school year. According to the plan, that first payment would post to folks' cards. They're reusing the cards from last year in May. We will have more information up on our website probably by next Monday. So people will have more information about that, and we'll share that out through like the Food Policy Council.
That's great news. Thanks, Ann. I don't think I see Melissa here. No, and Myron Green. Nope. Okay. Tamara O'Brien. Oh, okay. And Raiden. Okay, let's hope your audio is still working.
Does that work if I unmute here? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been great hearing about what everyone's up to. I just wanted to share a couple of quick updates. At Grow Pittsburgh, we received 45 applications for the Community Garden Sustainability Fund this round. So I'm just really thankful for everyone who shared that and who applied. We're going to be able to support most of those. We're going to be sharing or giving out about $21,000 worth of materials to over 30 gardens. So we're really excited about that. And then if you're interested in getting in on the next round of applications will be open July 1. So please reach out if you're interested in applying. We can help you with that process. The other thing I wanted to share was if you're thinking now about starting garden projects, ahead of time for even next year, please do get in touch, and we'd be happy to consult with you, share different resources that we can support you with. So if you hear of folks who are starting community food gardens, or you yourself are interested, please just get in touch with me. And Carlin, if you would be so kind as to just drop my email address in the chat, then folks can reach out to me directly. And then, I think our seedling sale is going for the at Garden Dreams and other sites. So if you're looking for seedlings, let us know. Again, thanks very much.
Great. Thanks, Raiden. And I'm looking forward to going to Garden Dreams this weekend.
Great.
Is Felicia here? I don't see her. Ben, yes, you're here.
Yeah. Hey, hello. Hey, just real quick, thanks everybody for putting this on, and good to see a lot of good work getting done in the local food space because, food security is getting more critical by the day, it seems like. But anyway, just a quick update with us, Unified Fields. We are like fully leaning into the whole being Johnny Appleseed with Butcher Knowledge thing, and are building out an apprenticeship program. We're working with Community Kitchens Pittsburgh, doing that intro to butchery class through their culinary program, and are going to expand on that and do a little bit more on the job training type thing and hopefully Community Kitchen sooner than later will have a nice little meat retail spot up and running there, and really just trying to do everything we can to get farmers access to meat processing and get meat processors staffed and trained to get the processing done, because there's just such a huge skills gap and everybody's shorthanded. just trying to keep their heads above water as far as demand and everything. And, can only go on for so long without like bringing more processors in and training them. And so that's just kind of been our mission lately. And hopefully we can get this apprenticeship program together with CKP as kind of a pilot program. And then we're going to be kicking off a fundraiser to try and get our own like full processing facility put together that'll have the emphasis on training. And, hopefully with partnering with CKP, we can get some grant funding and stuff so we can have a nice chunk of the enrollees in the apprenticeship program from some of those underserved communities and everything. The stats are pretty crazy. It's like less than 2% of the population is involved in agriculture nowadays, and less than 2% of that 2% is people of color, or and also working with veterans and stuff too. And there's a lot of farmer veterans out there that are trying to make a living with it and just having a tough time without that market access and direct to consumer channel. So just trying to do everything we can, but you can check out our website, unifiedfields.net, and see some of the stuff we've been doing and everything. So, and if anybody needs like a meat expert or consultant or, connections or anything, I'm your guy. So.
Thanks a lot for sharing that, Ben. And Dawn just dropped your website into the chat. Jen England has an announcement, and then since we do have some time, I'll certainly open things up to the floor in case somebody has anything they want to say, but why don't you go, Jen?
Thanks, Mim. This Thursday is Stop Food Waste Day. It's a national day of action. There are several pieces of legislation, both at the federal level and in Pennsylvania, that would help make it easier for businesses to donate food to people who need it. And so we're asking folks to call or email their legislators on that day and ask them to support these bills. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. This is to the Food Rescue Hero or 412 Food Rescue page that has the information about those bills, and also a super handy tool. You can just click on it, enter your address, and it will connect you with your appropriate legislator and give you talking points. The one it doesn't help with is Pennsylvania, though, so you'd have to find your local state reps and ask them to support this effort. And that would be, a little bit more effort, but would really appreciate if folks would reach out to their local reps and ask them to support this important bill.
Great, thanks a lot, Jen. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to ask, state, share?
I'd like to just share with everyone that we have a committee called the Food Justice Fund Committee up under the council, and the committee is working together to try to deal with some possible funding that is to be made available to address some of the food problems that we're having. I think it's a $10 million proposed grant, and anyone who wants to work with us to decide how we are to move forward, how we are to set up, trying to get these funds, and encourage the city to establish an ongoing food fund, is welcome to join. So I just wanted to put that out there so that everybody knows it's an open committee of this council, of this organization. So please let us know if you wanted to join. Want to be part of that effort.
Thanks so much, Pastor Love, for reminding people about that. And I do encourage people to get involved. And Dawn just dropped the information about the next committee meeting, which is May 6th. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share? I know it's not against the law to end a meeting sooner than is on the agenda, but please feel free to share if you have anything else. Well, oh, Dawn, did you?
I was just gonna say thanks. I've learned so much from all of you tonight, and I just really appreciate the conversation and the hard work that you're all doing.
That's what I was going to say too.
And also Sam is reminding us that the next meeting, this member meeting will be on June 28th from 4 to 5:30. And I want to add my thanks to everybody for your participation and for this information. You know, it's hard to keep track of all that's going on, and I think that's a good thing because there's so much going on. So thank you all for coming, and see you back at this meeting in 2 months and hope 2 months. 2 months, and hopefully see you in other venues sooner than that. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
God bless everyone. Be safe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks all. Have a great evening.